In this example, we will examine an EtherChannel configuration between DSW1 and DSW2 across the gigabit 1/0/5 and 1/0/6 links. But before we do that, I want to take a look at spanning tree's protocol. Show spanning tree for VLAN 10. Notice here that gigabit 1/0/5 and 1/0/6 are both in the forwarding state. However, if we go to DSW2 and we type in show spanning tree, and we'll look at just VLAN 10, we can see that gigabit 1/0/5 is blocking while 1/0/6 is forwarding. What does this mean? It means that we are only utilizing one of the links for traffic forwarding. Even though we have two links that can be used, spanning tree protocol is blocking one of them to prevent a layer 2 loop between DSW1 and DSW2. We'll see at the end of our port channel or EtherChannel configuration how spanning tree protocol sees it as a port channel instead of two separate physical interfaces. So we'll come back and examine this after. Global configuration mode, interface range, gigabit Ethernet, 1/0/5 and 6. So we're going to use the interface range command and configure them both at the same time. They're both going to be in the same channel group because they are part of the same EtherChannel bundle. We'll call this group 1, and we'll specify the mode. And what is the mode going to be? Well, we have active, auto, desirable, on, or passive. So pop quiz, everyone. We want to use a Cisco proprietary protocol on DSW1, and we want to make sure that DSW1 passively waits to receive requests to form an EtherChannel bundle. What should our mode be in this case? I hope you didn't say passive. But if you did, it's probably because I said passively. I tried to trick you, and if I did, I do apologize. The wording of the question said we wanted to use a Cisco proprietary protocol. So what is the Cisco proprietary protocol? It's PAG-P. With PAG-P, the options are desirable and auto. If I want to passively wait with PAG-P for another device to request to form an EtherChannel bundle, then I need to be in mode auto. Just because I said passively doesn't mean. Let me try that again. Just because I said passively doesn't mean I'm looking for LACP passive. Keep that in mind. Let this be your lesson if you got it wrong. So in this case, we're using auto because we said Cisco proprietary, PAG-P. And we want to passively wait. We want to just sit back, relax, and wait for the other device to ask us to form an EtherChannel bundle. Now notice, when we executed that command, the logical port channel interface that represents the EtherChannel bundle was automatically created for us because it didn't previously exist. The interfaces flapped, they went down, came back up, but what I don't see here is the port channel interface coming up. And the reason why the port channel interface isn't coming up is because DSW2 hasn't been successfully configured with the parameters that are necessary to form the EtherChannel bundle. So let's go to DSW2, and let's do the same configuration there. We'll do interface range, gigabit Ethernet, 1/0/5 and 6, and then we'll say channel group 1, mode, and what option do we have here? And if you say the options are auto or desirable, think again. We can't have an EtherChannel bundle formed if we do auto-auto. It can't happen. So the only option here is to use desirable. So DSW2 is going to be sending the requests to form an EtherChannel bundle while DSW1 just listens and waits for those requests, and then we'll act upon them. So we hit enter, port channel 1's automatically created in this case, the interface goes down, it's going to come back up, but what I'm looking for here is that port channel. Is the port channel coming up? And yes, it is. Interface port channel 1 changed its state to up. DSW1, did it happen as well? Yes, it did. We can see port channel 1 is now up. Another way you can verify that is by typing in show IP interface brief. You'll look way down at the bottom is where you'll find the port channels. And there it is. Port channel 1 is up. But the next question is this a layer 2 port or is it a layer 3 port? Well, we can use one of our favorite commands, show interfaces, specify port channel, and then use the switch port keyword. After I specify the number, there we go, switch port keyword. And what does it say? It says port channel 1 is switch port enabled, meaning it's a layer 2 switch port. That's what it is. It's a layer 2 switch port. But back to spanning tree protocol. Let's see what's happening here now with spanning tree protocol. Show span for VLAN 10. Ooh, look at that. Gigabit 1/0/5 and 6 are no longer listed. It says port channel 1. Port channel 1. And it's in the forwarding state. If we go to DSW2, type in the same command, show spanning tree for VLAN 10. Look at that. Port channel 1. It's the root port to get the DSW1. We're using both links now to forward traffic between DSW1 and DSW2, spanning tree protocols, not blocking either of the ports because it's seen as that ether channel bundle to spanning tree protocol.